Just here what we have discussed in the last session. We'll see. We'll go through one time. Okay. Yes. First point we have seen. SQL Server is a RDBMS product. Okay, developed by Microsoft. Actually, see, like SQL Server was developed in the year 1988 or 89. Okay, so here it was released with the version 1.0. Okay, so after that we have so many versions are there, but right now our current version is there, SQL Server 2019. Okay, which is also called as 15.0 or 15.0 version, 15.0 version. Okay, 2019 is our 15.0 version. So previously we have 2017, 2016, like different versions we have to understand. Okay, so but remember like 2012, yeah, support is stopped. Okay, so that's why remember tomorrow once you enter in the organization, we have to work with different versions. It's not meaning that right now we have 2019, we have to work with 2019 only. Okay, it's not meaning we have to work with 17 also, 16 also, 14 also. Okay, right, right. So second point we have seen to connect and work with the SQL Server. Okay, we are using one tool called SSMS, SQL Server Management Studio. SSMS means what? SQL Server Management Studio. Basically, remember we can use any other tools also. This is, yeah, Microsoft has provided this tool. That's why remember generally we can use this tool, SSMS, SQL Server Management Studio. Okay, so that's why if any doubts are there, any queries are there, feel free to type in the chat panel. Okay, don't hesitate. If any doubts are there, please type in the chat panel. Okay. Yes. Okay. So then just 1 second. Right. So that is it. Like yeah, that's the chart option is there. Please feel free to type if any simple doubts are there. Okay. So I will try to answer immediately. Any simple doubt is there, always better to ask immediately. So it will be clear for us. Right. Third point we have seen, like as a SQL Server DBA, so our job is what? Maintenance, right? So database and database server maintenance is our job. That's why we have to regularly monitor. If any issues are there, we need to troubleshoot, right? So means what? Monitoring and troubleshooting is our regular job. Let me connect by using SSMS. See, by using SSMS, remember, tool, we can connect to the local server as well as remote servers. Okay, remote means which is there in different location or different machine. Okay, local means which is running in the same machine where this SSMS is installed. Okay, fine. Okay, so check here already in my machine. I have installed SSMS in my laptop. I will show you in the next session how to install SQL Server. Basic installation I will discuss. Okay, so that you can start practice. But after 2, 3 classes, we'll see how to install in real time, how we are installing SQL Server in real time. So that we'll see after 2, 3 classes. Fine. Check here, like just I'm opening SQL Server Management Studio. We need to select here server name, connect. Okay, connected successfully. See here, uh, just observe here this FRR LIC loans. Okay, FRR is the my system name. My system name. Okay, means what? My laptop name. LIC loans is our server name, SQL name. Okay, SQL Server 15.0 version. Already we know 15.0 version is what? 2019 version. This is my login name. So here we have collection of databases. See here. Okay. So generally as a DBA will work with all these features. Okay. See here we have SQL Server service, SQL Server agent. Check here. Right. This is our SQL Server service. This is our agent service. Basically, remember here in SQL Server, we have SQL Server agent, which is basically for scheduling. Means what? To schedule any activity, we are creating the jobs here. Okay. Suppose already we know, right? As a DBA, 80%, 85% tasks will schedule. Okay. 80 to 85, 90% tasks will schedule. Okay, so if any activity is failing, then we have to troubleshoot. Okay, right. So those schedules are implemented here by creating the jobs. We'll see later. The Sunbar agent is for automation. Automation. Okay, to implement automation, we have agent service, SQL Server agent service. Okay, so check here, like for example, yeah. So for example, say like we can suppose let's say tomorrow you want to create a login. We can create right click new login. Okay, just provide the login name, password. Okay, to which database the login should access. It should work with which database we can select. Some roles are there we can select. Means what I am saying, graphically we can perform the tasks as well as here by right clicking here we can take new query. By using the command also we can work with. Okay. Yes. Here see always after typing. Okay, after typing remember, just select the command and execute. Okay, it is showing here SQL Server 2019 version. Okay, right. The same way, like we said, simple commands are there. We can remember. Okay, what is the server name? How many databases are there in this server? See, these are the databases are there. Their sizes, some details it is showing. Like this, like simple commands, 1, 2 lines commands we can remember. But if huge, lengthy command is there, or some 10 lines, 20 lines is script is there, for example. Okay. So in that case, remember, we have to store in a file. Okay. So just store in a file whenever you want, copy, paste, and run. store in a file. Whenever we want, copy, paste, and run. Okay, so that is called a script file. Already I have said, I think I will share you the regularly used scripts. I will share you as a DBA. So what are the regularly used scripts are there? I will share you those scripts. No need to worry. Okay, as part of extra material, I will share you the scripts. Okay, so commonly used DBA scripts I will share you, which are compulsory for us, which we need to use regularly. Okay, suppose tomorrow you want to check blocking scenarios. Tomorrow you want to see which sessions are causing memory issues. Okay, so which sessions are causing deadlocks? What are the long running queries are there? Query execution plans. All those things we can check here by running the scripts. That's why, yeah, whatever the scripts I am using here in real time, those scripts I will try to share you. Okay, right. Okay, so that is it, how we are connecting and working with SSMS. Okay, check here, like by using the server name, we can connect, as well as remember by using this yeah, IP also we can connect. Okay, by using the IP also we can connect here. Okay, so that is like different options are there with us. Right, I will show you later. This is one of our client server. Right, next one is like we know like a SQL Server while working with as a SQL Server DBA. Okay, so SQL Server supports like three types of working environments. Basically, it is two types, but check here. One is the standalone environment. Means what tomorrow in the organization we have to work with the standalone environment where we have single production server. Okay, there is no standby server. There is no secondary server. Only one server is there, single production server. But we know already, like if it is non-critical application, then it's fine. But if it is a critical application, if you are maintaining single production server, if the server is down unexpectedly, right? Applications cannot connect, users cannot work. Okay, that is the reason compulsory what we'll do, we'll maintain the standby servers, standby. Okay, so that if production is crash, no problem. Standby server will start working automatically so that we can minimize the business loss scenario to our client, right? Yes. So that's remember to maintain the standby servers or secondary servers. Okay. In SQL Server, we have different options are there like log shipping, database mirroring, always on. Different options are there. But today, remember, currently we are using always on in real time. Means we have to work with always on environment where we have one production server, multiple standby servers, multiple standby servers. Okay, in case of what always on. In general, remember, like for most of the applications will follow this strategy. For example, this is my main data center is there. In Mumbai, we have data center, for example. Here, see, we are maintaining two servers. One is a production server. One is a standby server. Okay. This is my production server. This is my standby server. Okay. The same way means what currently production server is processing the queries. If something happen, okay, standby server will start processing the queries. Okay. Suppose let's say if total data center collapse, for example, due to any reason. Okay, so we'll maintain one more servers here in different location. We can maintain one more server, which is our DR server, disaster recovery server in, for example, in Chennai. Okay, means what? If complete data center is collapse. For example, see, if server collapse, then this server start working, which is there in the same data center. But if complete data center collapse, something happen. Okay, no problem. So we have one DR server, disaster recovery server or backup server in different locations here. Okay, so this server will start processing the queries. Fine, right? So that's why changes made in production, they are applied here as well as they are applied here automatically. See, this setup will implement with help of this always on. Okay. Yeah. One production server, one yeah, within the same data center, one standby server, one or more also we can maintain, but outside of data center in different location. So we'll maintain here one DR server, disaster recovery server. Okay, fine. So means what, like we'll see that how to implement all this setup everything practically. No need to worry. Understood, right? What is always on? Always on is like your data guard. If someone is working with Oracle, we have data guard. Same we have here, always on. Okay, always on means what? Always database is on, either in this server or here or in this location or other location, but it is on, available to the users. Okay. That is the meaning of share always on. Then we have failure cluster, SQL Server failure cluster. So here also what we can do, in general, our SQL Server supports here active passive cluster environments. Okay, so generally remember like what is cluster, very simple, very fastly, just very briefly, later we'll see again. Same thing, this is my production server is there, so I'm maintaining one standby server. Basically this always on is database to database feature, actually database to database feature, but failure cluster is server to server feature. For example, here we have one SQL server is there with the name LIC. Same copy of SQL server or server we are maintaining in different machine. Different machine. This is my active node. For example, this is my passive node. Means what, currently this active node is processing the queries. If active node is down, then the passive node will start working. Just remember, don't get confusion. We'll see later in detail. This always on, mirroring or log shipping. These are database level high availability features. Means what, database to database copy we can maintain. Whereas this clustering is server level high availability feature or instance level high availability feature. Means what? Complete instance copy we can maintain. Instance level high availability feature. So here in SQL Server, we have only active passive concept only, not like active like data guard, React in Oracle. We have like we can implement active also, not it is not really active, but in some different way. We'll talk about that later while discussing this clustering concept. Already have said we can install like VMware in your laptop. So through VMware we can create share multiple machines. Okay, so we can practice this always on failure cluster everything. Okay, no need to worry. I will show you from scratch. Okay, right. Okay, after connecting to SQL Server, how we know whether we are working in standalone or always on or failure cluster? It is very simple. Check here after connecting to SQL Server through SSMS. We can check here, see, right click on server name, properties. Here, see, is HADR enabled? HADR is nothing but remember high availability disaster recovery. HA is what? High availability, which is used to avoid downtime. DR is their disaster recovery, which is used to avoid data loss. Data loss. Understood, right? Downtime is there, data loss is there in general. Downtime, whenever there is a downtime means what? Application will not work. Business loss scenario is there. Second one's here, data loss scenario may be there. Yeah, anything Hyper-V we can use or Oracle virtual box we can use anything here. Okay, right. Okay, that's why feel free to ask if any questions are there, if any disturbance is there. Right? Yes. Okay. I think it is fine, right? Pawan Amarnath, today I think you have joined. Satya, yeah, if any questions are there, please feel free to type in the chat panel. Okay, Akbar. Anyhow, from next session onwards or regular session onwards, I will allow you to unmute yourself. Okay, we can talk if any doubts are there. Okay, right. Okay, yeah. Just here while asking the questions, better use the option to everyone so that everyone can see the question. Okay, so it will be easy for us. Okay, if anything is there, like sharing your email ID, sharing your contact number, or something, if you want, you can ask privately. You can send the chat message by selecting private. Otherwise, if you're asking any doubts, please don't send to private. Just select everyone so that everyone can see that question. Okay, right, right. Sai Krishna is asking total how many concepts available, sir, to learn DBA. We have different concepts are there, Sai, but we have in the material, in the course content, if you see, we have 12 to 14 modules, means chapters, for example. Okay, so which we are going to learn as part of this course. Right. Okay. Yeah. So that's when we're like, if any simple query is there, please type in the chat panel. Okay. So at the end of the session today only, at the end of the session, I will unmute all the people. you can talk to me. Or from tomorrow onwards, next session onwards, what we'll do, like you can unmute at any time. Just to avoid disturbance in the recording, yeah, it is better to play, put in mute. Okay, right. Krishna is asking, are you providing real time? Yeah, all the scenarios we'll discuss, Krishna, what we are doing in real time. No need to worry. Okay, right. Okay, so that's why what we are doing in real time. So all those, yeah, scenarios I will try to discuss so that it will be easy for you to attend the interview, as well as you will get confidence. Okay, right. So what is the main use of SQL? One question is there. SQL, we know, right, structured query language. Basically, to work with any databases, it may be Oracle database, SQL Server database. Okay, we need these SQL commands. Okay, right, like select, update, delete, various commands actually. Right, yeah. Sai Krishna is asking, every class, yeah, every class I will record, I will share you. Okay, so that it will be easy for us. Right. Mm, yeah, Pawan Kalyan is asking, is this 14 systems are enough to work in real time? 14 systems. Version you are saying or what you are saying, Pawan Kalyan, I didn't get you. Is this 14 systems are enough to work in real time, you are asking? SQL Server 14 you are asking, or okay, maybe we'll see. You can 14 modules. Okay, okay, right. 14, 13, 14 modules are there. Maybe, yeah, those are maximum enough for us. Okay, how to install SQL, everything I will discuss later. Okay, in the tomorrow's session, means in the next session, Monday, I will show you how to install SQL Server so that we can start practicing. Okay, right, no need to worry. Okay, so check here, like we can understand here how we are, where we are working. Means we are working with standalone or cluster or always on. We can check very simply. See here. Yeah. So yeah, Amarnath, something you're asking, Amarnath. Yeah, you can use the chart panel. You can unmute yourself also if something. Yeah. Amar, any questions are there?
Nothing, sir.
Yeah, right. Okay, so this is like how to check whether we are working. Configuration of system Sangram is asking. We need a basic configuration machine Sangram. With normal laptop also we can install. Okay, today we have laptops, right, with 4 GB or 8 GB. So basic configuration we need. Okay, to install and practice, we need what basic laptops are enough actually. But in real time, we'll see. Yeah, how we are installing and what configuration machines we are using. Okay, fine. Check here, like yeah, to connect and work with just see after connecting, just right click on server properties. Here see is HADR enable false is there, means what? It is not always on setup. Okay. Yeah, the same way is clustered false is there, means it is not a cluster environment, it is not cluster setup. Okay, now we can say indirectly it is standalone environment, standalone setup. Okay, right, right. So that's why tomorrow's here, once you enter in the organization, KT program is there, knowledge transfer program. So in that KT program, here one important thing, they will share you one shared folder. Shared folder. In the shared folder, we have SQL Server catalog. Okay, SQL Server catalog. So in C, that basically it is like Excel file. In that SQL Server catalog, you can see the list of servers. Okay. In that, we can see these three types of servers, actually, three types of setups. There you can see in this company how many standalone servers are there, how many always on servers like this here, how many cluster servers, there you can see in the SQL Server inventory or SQL Server catalog. Okay. Right. Otherwise, we don't know in this organization or with this client how many servers are there. Means catalog is compulsory. They will share you the catalog compulsory. Okay. Once you enter in the organization. Right. Right. So after that, say like SQL Server supports here, like basic purpose of SQL Server is what? To create and manage databases. Okay, we can create the databases, we can manage the databases, but remember our job is maintenance, right? As a DBA, our job is what? Database, as a database admin, we are maintenance people. We are not developers, we are not testers, we are maintenance people as a DBA. That's what we like as a DBA. Database maintenance is our job. Okay, right. So that's when we're like we can use SQL Server to create and manage databases. As well as our SQL Server supports a powerful BI features also, business intelligence features like SSIS, SSRS, SSAS. Okay, SQL Server integration services, SQL Server reporting services, SQL Server analysis services. Okay, these are called as what? BI features of SQL Server. Okay, business intelligence features of SQL Server. But remember, like, yeah, our SQL Server BI developers, they will work with these features. But remember, that's why as a SQL Server DBA will work with the database engine. In general, remember in SQL Server, we have different types of jobs are there. Okay, one is here we can work as a SQL Server developer. Okay, so as a developer, remember, will create the databases. Okay, will create the tables, will write the stored procedures, functions, triggers, everything as a developer. Once the development is done, once the basic testing is done, then the database is placed in the production environment, right? once the database is placed in the production environment, then remember, we'll take the control as a SQL Server DBA. Okay, so that's remember, once the database is placed into production environment or once go live, okay, event is done, then remember we'll take the database in our control. Okay, we'll implement maintenance related activities, we'll implement security related, we'll implement automation, we'll monitor these databases, we'll batch these database servers. Okay, we'll take in our control. Right. The same way we have Microsoft Business Intelligence Developer. Means what? Microsoft BI developers works with these three features. But remember, as a core DBA, our job is maintenance. Mainly will work with the database server or database engine as a core DBA. Right. That's remember as part of our course also, we are going to work with what database server or database engine and its various features we'll discuss. But sometimes we need this SSIS actually as a DBA, SQL Server Integration Services. With SSIS, what we can do, remember, most of the tasks we can automate, okay, as well as we can do some migrations actually from Oracle to SQL Server, SQL Server to Oracle, like such type of migration activities also we can implement with the help of SSIS. Basically, it is a ETL tool. ETL tool. Okay, right. That's why while connecting to SQL servers here, whenever we are connecting to SQL Server using SSMS, it is asking server type, which type of server you want to connect, right? So by default, your database engine is there, which is our database server, where we are working as a DBA regularly. Okay, so we have AS, RS, IS, as well as we have Azure also. Basically, remember today we have cloud computing platforms. Okay, so Microsoft Azure is also one of a cloud computing platform. I think maybe you know like AWS is there, Google Cloud is there, different cloud environments are there. Okay, right. So always remember we are selecting database engine, which server, which authentication connect, for example. Then we'll work with the databases, all the options, like always on. Okay, so we will work with all the options. Here see integration services catalog is there. So which is what our SSIS catalog. Right. Okay. So that is it. I think it should be clear with this. We are working with database engine or with database server regularly as a DBA. Fine. So here say like in SQL Server supports here SQL, which is already we know, right? Structured query language. Means what? Any RDBMS. It may be Oracle or SQL Server or MySQL. Any RDBMS supports what? SQL commands to work with the data, right? Like select or update or delete or insert, any SQL command. Okay, as well as remember every RDBMS supports their own programming languages also. Programming languages. In SQL servers here, we have our own programming language is T-SQL. T-SQL. Okay, transact structured query language. In Oracle, we have PL SQL, right? Same here also we have T-SQL, transact structured query language. This is basically for programming purpose. Means what? So with the help of T-SQL, our developers can write stored procedures, okay, functions, triggers, everything. Coding, they will write the business logic, they will write with the help of a T-SQL, transact structured query language. But remember, as a DBA, we should have basic SQL knowledge. Okay, so for that purpose, already have said, we'll share you the recordings, basic SQL recordings, 3 to 4 hours recordings. As well as we have seen, we need some basic Windows knowledge is required. So that also 2 to 3 hours recordings I will share you. Okay, so that you can go through it. Right. Okay. So, yeah, any questions are there? Please type in the chat panel. Feel free to ask in the chat panel. Okay. Right. Then next one say like SQL Server supports already we have seen high availability or disaster recovery features. High availability features. Basic purpose of high availability features is what? To maintain the standby servers. To maintain standby or secondary servers. Why we need standby servers? Right? Rajni, why we need standby servers? Akbar, Hima, why we need standby servers? Is it compulsory or not compulsory? Satya, Srujani. Correct. We need the why we need standby servers? Why? Because tomorrow, if production server crash due to any reason, yeah, if production server crash due to any reason, right? So how the application will work? Suppose let's say Amazon.in is there, right? Flipkart is there. So if something happened to the production server, okay. So Flipkart is down, Amazon.in is down. If it is down for 5 minutes or 1 hour, how much business loss? Correct, right? That is the reason compulsory will maintain one standby servers, one or more standby server. So whenever production is down due to any reason, no problem. First, let the standby server should start working. Later, we can troubleshoot the problem. Right? Yes. Okay. That is the reason, sir. Compulsory today for most of the applications, remember, compulsory we have to maintain standby servers. Okay, to avoid the business loss scenarios. Okay, in SQL Server, we have different high availability or disaster recovery features actually. One of the old feature is the log shipping. Okay, so after that, we have database mirroring from SQL Server 2005 onwards. After that, we have always on from SQL Server 2012 onwards. Here we have AO, always on. Like this, different features are available. But today we have discussed already, we are using always on only. Okay, these are the old features. Right. So, but very briefly, I will discuss here, see what are the major differences are there. Later, anyhow, we'll see practically. Suppose here, this is my production server. This is my standby server. Okay. Here, see, one database is there with the name sales, for example. Same copy of database we are maintaining here, see, in standby server. Already we know that is the purpose of our these high availability features, as it is copy. Okay, database to database copy we can maintain. Same copy. Means what? Currently applications are connected to this server, production server. For example, tomorrow if this production server or database is down due to any reason, so immediately applications can redirect to this standby server or standby database. So immediately started working. Okay. Right. Okay. So that is the concept of log shipping, mirroring, always on. See, log shipping. Logs are nothing but, remember, changes. Shipping means transferring, right? Whatever the changes are made here, they are automatically shipped to standby server. Automatically, one time we'll set up actually as a DBA. So accordingly, the changes are updated automatically. Okay, fine. Whereas in case of log shipping, we have some limitations are there, some problems are there in case of what log shipping. So we'll see later, but just 1.2 points we can understand here. In case of log shipping, remember, there is no immediate sync. No immediate sync means what? If any changes are made in production database, immediately they are not synced with the standby. By default, it takes 30 minutes time. By default, we can change actually. In the same way, tomorrow if this production database crash, automatically this standby will not become production. Means what? No automatic failover. Failover means, remember, whenever this server down, applications will, it will, this server or this database comes online. Okay, so failure is not there. So there is no automatic failure. Automatically, this server will not become production server or it will not come online. So that's why to overcome these two major limitations, Microsoft has come up with mirroring. Name itself is saying mirror. Means what? Immediate sync. Means whenever the changes are made here, immediately they are synced with the mirror database or standby database. Immediate sync here. In the same way, we have automatic failover. Just what I'm trying to discuss here. Later, we'll see anyhow practically. All these features we'll see practically. Okay, no need to worry. Just you need to understand what is there in SQL Server, what are the different availability features. Okay, right. Right. Okay. So, understood, right? Automatic failover. Automatically, this database comes online, applications will continue working. Means as a DBA, no need to bring this secondary server online. Automatically, the database comes online, immediately applications redirect the connection to this server automatically. DBA intervention is not required. The same way here, like we have always on is it. Always on is also, just remember, it is also database mirroring. Okay, it is also mirroring only with extra features, additional features, extra features. So in case of mirrorings here again, yeah, it supports only one standby server, only one mirror server. But this is one to many feature actually. We can have one principle, or here we'll call it as replicas. One primary replica can have multiple secondary replicas. Okay, like this, like some just terminology is different. We'll talk about that later. I don't want to make you confused right now. Okay, we'll see step by step. We'll see. No need to worry. Okay, fine. So that this like already we have seen. Today we are working with always on only. Okay, in real time. Right, right. Okay. So last point we'll see. We'll conclude the session. I think Rajini has some question. You can type Rajini in the chat panel. Meanwhile, I think we have raised the hand, or we can talk also, no problem. Okay. Any question is there, Rajini? Do you want? You can unmute yourself if want. Any questions are there, or you can just type in the chat panel. Any question is there, Rajni?
Yes, sir. I have questions.
Yeah, yes,
Hello.
please go ahead. Yes, go ahead.
Sir, when I will get soft copy for this content, sir? Maybe
Well,
day to day I will get. Day to day I will get, or after 1 week I will get.
which content you are saying?
Yeah, today you discussed something, sir.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
that, before coming to tomorrow class, I need to prepare well, na?
Correct, correct. See, these recordings daily I will share. After the class, you will get the recording. Plus nodes, I will share module wise. Okay, right now we are in module 1. For example, module 1, we have 3-4 classes, for example. So that total module 1 nodes I will share from day 1, means module is starting day 1 itself, so that you can go through the notes, you can prepare. So for each module like this here, for example, right now we are in module 1, just we are discussing day-to-day activities or version something. So these notes I will share you initially for each module wise. Then next, once we start module 2, first I will share the notes. Okay, then it's recordings. For example, we have 5 recordings of module 2. So 5 recordings. Again, module 3 we have module 3 like working with databases. First I will share the notes, then recordings. Okay. Right. Yes, Satya, if you have any question, please go ahead.
Hi, sir.
Yeah, yes, Satya, please.
Sir, like see, as we have discussed, standalone scenario,
Yeah, correct.
a server will be on a standalone mode for all the complete set of servers available, or for each server there will be one standalone server, sir.
Yeah, correct. So that's why it depends on what feature is there. For example, if always on is there, compulsory we have minimum one standby server. Okay. So suppose let's say like sometimes we have like SIT, UAT environments, which are basically for testing something. So in that case, we can maintain single server, which is like a standalone server for development for all these activities. Right.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. If any further questions are there, please raise the hand. Or anyhow, from next session onwards, you will by yourself. You can unmute yourself. No need to worry. Any questions, Sahid, Vamsi? Any questions are there? Feel free to ask. Yes, Pawan. Please go ahead. Pawan, you can unmute yourself. Yeah, any questions are there, Pawan? You have raised the hand. Okay. No questions are there, no problem. Zahid, any questions are there? Vamsi, no need to ask by taking your names. So you can ask immediately if any questions are there. Better, why? Because it will be clear, right? I also comes to know like who has doubts, who is following. Okay, if any confusion is there, for me also it is easy if you're asking the questions. Akbar, Himabindu, if any questions are there, always please type in the chat panel or you can raise the hand also. Okay, you can unmute. Yes, okay. Some questions are there. Vamsi Krishna is asking, can we set up this higher? Yes, yes, correct, Vamsi. All these concepts I will show you practically. No need to worry. Tomorrow I will not say we don't have setup, we can't configure cluster. That will not be there. All the concepts we'll see practically. Okay, including performance tuning, everything. Right. Right. Okay. Yeah. So let me conclude the session here better. I think maybe some people they may have office. So we'll continue again on Monday. Okay. So meanwhile, remember yesterday's session I have uploaded in my YouTube channel. Please go through today's class also. Okay, whenever you are free. Yes. So my blog is there, azure-sql.blogspot.com. You can go through the blog also. So yeah, YouTube channel is there. You can go through my channel also. Okay, you can subscribe also. Right. This is your yesterday's session is a demo class. Okay, in the channel. Can go through that. So today's class also I will upload here. Okay, this is the link is there, channel link is there. Or you can type also karim.yes, my name. You can get the channel. Right, right. In general, remember as a DBA, weekends will do some maintenance work actually, like patching. Okay, some maintenance activities will do, especially on weekends. In general, our application team also do something, some activities on weekends. Our OS team will do some patching on weekends. We have to support as a from SQL team. We have to support. Okay. Right, right. Okay, anyhow, we'll see all the real-time scenarios I will try to discuss, okay, so that you will get very high confidence. It will be easy for us to attend the interviews. No need to worry. Okay, right.